All right, what is up, SIG agents? Man, what a good looking group here. Proud of y'all for jumping on a Wednesday. I hope you are having a tremendous week this week. I am very excited about our topic today. Rob Sevilla is with us. And Rob, the number one reason people don't succeed in insurance is they don't get in front of enough people. And one of the big things I always hear is, well, I don't have any money to buy leads. I don't have any, time and all. Rob has figured out a way to pretty much get some free leads that are good quality leads. And every day, Rob is coming on the group me chat saying, hey, 3 MAPDs today, 2 this, 4 this, 3 this. He is absolutely killing it. And so I wanted to bring Rob on and talk to us about how he is getting in front of people and doing it in a unique way. So ladies and gentlemen, one of the best guys I know on the planet, Mr. Rob Sevilla.
Well, I appreciate those kind words, and it's an honor and a privilege just to be able to share. SIG is awesome. We're so thankful for that group. So I'll tell you a little bit about kind of what we do here, and I pray that it gives you something to work with. All of us know that you have to try a little bit of something in this industry. So like right now, I currently have Facebook leads that I'm ordering that cost me $16. I have about 20 of them. I've closed 2 or 3 sales. As many of you know, when you work the phones, you got to work on them relentlessly. Okay. I also have a mailer campaign in the LIS mailer. I am currently using Need a Lead. Their mailer food benefit mailer card is working the best for us. I closed about 16 off of that mailer about a month and a half ago. So I'm working a new batch. But what I needed to figure out was, how do I get organic leads? How do I get more leads so I don't just, have to blow through all of my budget? And so what we started doing is we started asking these carrier reps in the MAPD side of things, I always ask, what are the top producers doing? Right? I believe in modeling your way to success. I mean, the fastest way to success is to find someone who has success and model what they're doing. And they were telling me, man, people are writing 20 to 30 MAPDs a month doing food pantries. I thought they were lying to me. I was like, are you kidding me? Food pantries? And they're like, yes. And so I said, well, sign us up for the food pantries. And what we did is that there's about 6 of them in our local area within about a 60-mile radius. So let me give you kind of up-to-date results. My wife and I just did one not too long ago, actually this past weekend. And we took one of our new agents that we just recruited with us so he can kind of see what we're doing, because he's on a budget, needs to figure out some ways for some grassroots marketing. I think we wound up with about 35 to 40 leads. And we're literally just standing at a table at the end of this driveway. It looks like Express Loop. If you're going to get your oil change and you pull your car up and then you pull out, that's really what these tables are like. You have a little bit of table. The carriers provide all the goodies for you to hand out: disinfectant spray, detergent, tons of stuff. And you're literally just stopping people in their car as they're driving off and saying, hey, do you have Medicare and Medicaid? I actually say, do you have Medicare, Medicaid, or Medicare? Because we're in a special enrollment right now where we can still, change people. But if they say yes, I literally get them to fill out the form. I get their first and last name, and then I get them to sign the bottom. That's a permission to contact form. And guess what? I got a lead. So we were out there for an hour and about 45 minutes, hour and 30 minutes, and got about 40 leads. This week so far, after calling those leads, we've closed 2 MAPDs and 3 DSNPs. Okay. So you're not going to bundle very much with the LIS market. Some of you probably know that already. And I'm a big bundling person, but with the LIS market, it's really hard. But could go back and possibly get a final expense, maybe down the road if that's an option. And we've done that before. But 3 DSNPs, 2 of them were true ups. How many people love true ups? This guy, right? And then 2 MAPDs. And here was the reality. In our area, Humana is not that strong. Aetna and United Healthcare are the 2 strongest plans in our area. And 3 of the people had just been switched to Humana and had no idea that their local hospital does not work, is not in the network. So normally I may never get in front of those people. I spent an hour and 45 minutes. Yes, it was a little hot, but it starts at 9 a.m. and it ended in about 11. And we had 40 leads. And I still, like, if I could turn my camera, I still have leads on my desk that I'm calling. So what I do is I use these to fill in the gaps of my paid marketing. Okay. So I have Facebook leads running. I have my mailer leads running. And I'm primarily focusing on LAS right now because my wife and I are newly independent agency owners and agents. And so, cash flow is a big deal right now. And then I'm mixing in T65s with it as well. So I usually have about 3 or 4 things going, but I do about 2 food pantries a month. And so I'll probably wind up with about 9 sales off of this food pantry. And then I have another one in 2 weeks. And then we'll probably get some more off of that. And then next month we'll do 2 or 3. And now these carrier reps are going, hey, do you want to do the food pantries? And here's why, because there's a lot of agents that don't want to do them. And it's simply because of the fact maybe they're making too much money now, or maybe it's beneath them, if you will. But the reality is, if you get with your carrier reps, and I'll end with this and see if we have any questions, because it's not rocket science, but I wanted just to kind of give you a 30,000 foot view of what we were doing. Is now here's the cool thing. Let me just say this before I forget. The cool thing is, because I was a top producer in my former life, if you will, a lot of these carrier reps already knew me. And when I signed up to do the food pantries, now that we're making sales and production off of that, guess what? Now we've had 2 carrier reps commit to $10,000 in co-op money. Excuse me, one committed to $5,000 in co-op money for AEP, and I think the other one to $2,500 to $3,000. Okay, so now that is free marketing money simply from doing food pantries and producing. And now they're saying, okay, we want to help you with AEP. Why do you think they're doing that? Because they want to build their numbers. They're looking for agents that are hungry. They're looking for agents that, will get out there and work these events. Now, let me just be very clear. I've never had any success doing grocery stores and Walgreens, things like that. I'm not saying it won't work where you guys are at. I'm just saying all the food pantries we've been to so far have all produced sales. You're talking to laser targeted people that either have Medicare, Medicaid, or Medicare. And it's a perfect LIS target, marketing outreach. And so, that's kind of a 30,000 view, a real simplified version of that, but I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Or Dallas, if you felt like, I left something out, just let me know.
One thing I was going to ask is there any way that you could send myself or Maddie the form that you guys are using, and then I can make that available to our agents and get that sent out?
I'll show it on the screen here. It's actually provided by the carriers. They give it to us.
Okay.
I don't know if I have it in here or not. I should have had it ready, but basically they give you the permission to contact form because you have to turn them in. So let me give you a scenario. Here's what happens. You get a table. They give you the tablecloth, whoever's sponsoring it, United Healthcare, Humana, Aetna, they're going to give you everything you need. You don't have to buy anything. You just have to show up. They go to Dollar General, the Dollar Tree, and they buy all these little happies to give away: disinfectant, hand gel, detergent. There's a product here called Awesome that a lot of people like. So our whole table is full of
Rob Sevilla.
Yeah. That's it. And that's exclusive, by the way, franchise rights. But anyhow, they give us 400 to 500 items to give away. We set up this table. We have clipboards in our hands with these permission to contact forms. And literally we're saying, hey, Mr. Jones, do you have Medicare, Medicaid? And we have the Medicare and Medicaid card on the back of these clipboards. So we showed it to them. If they say yes, I go, well, what's your first and last name again? And then I go, would you mind us just reaching out to you to review your plan to make sure, listen to this, to get all the benefits you deserve? Who the heck doesn't want all the benefits that they deserve?
Yeah.
Well, I say, hey, Mr. Jones, how you doing? My name is Rob. How are you doing today? Great. Listen, we're talking to people that have Medicare, Medicaid. You have Medicare, Medicaid? And I show them the clipboard. It's on the back, taped to the back. If they say yes, I go, well, great. What's your first and last name? I get their first and last name. I get the phone number. I get them to sign the permission to contact. And I said, all I want to do is to make sure that you're getting all the benefits that you deserve. I've never had anybody tell me that they don't want me to contact.
So to back up, really, this begins with a great relationship with your Aetna rep, your WellCare rep, your Am I missing that right?
Yeah, and it does. And I was very fortunate and blessed because I was a top producer before. And so when I had to change marketing strategies, I kind of already knew the blueprint of where we wanted to go. They actually reached out to me. I did not reach out to them. And then as we were formulating some strategies, they were like, hey, we want to help you continue to be a top producer. And they were like, we got these events lined up. But this, and listen, I don't want to be all preachy this morning, but the Bible says this, man. God can't trust you with more unless you're willing to be faithful in the little. Just because I'm a top producer, that don't mean jack squat. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help more people. And the more people I help, the more that I bless my family. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, I had to reset a little bit, but I was willing to do what no one else was willing to do. There's a lot of agents that are from 2 miles of my office. There's 5 full service Medicare agencies within 2 miles.
Wow.
Okay. So you don't think they can find an agent? It's not that they can't find an agent, it's that nobody wants to do them.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, guys. Your reps get paid based on how much you write. They get a bonus based on how many applications you write with their carrier. And so they would love to help you write business. What I can do, if you want to know who your rep is, reach out to me, dallas.keithley@secureig.com, and I can forward that email on to somebody that can tell you exactly who your reps are in your area with, with all that. And Pam just brought up a great point. She said, I have 33 pantries within 10 miles of my house.
All right, Pam, I'm on my way. I'm on my way, Pam.
Yeah. They're out there, guys. And now more than ever, there's more people that need help. And Pam asked a great question. What about ACA?
Yeah.
And I think you could do the same with ACA. You could probably have an ACA card typed to the back of a clipboard. Then your question is, hey, let me ask you a question. You have Medicare, Medicaid, or ACA? Because they're going to have one, or they should.
Yeah, and so that's and I'll answer that, Pam. Yes, I've written probably about 4 or 5 ACA policies off of that. So I do that as well. And so if the pantries are a little slower, like we went to one, there was over 600 people at this thing. There was no way we could ask too many questions. It literally was like Medicare, Medicaid, number, sign your name, and then at slower ones, you can get a little bit more in depth and just say, hey, by the way, do you have Medicare, Medicaid? Do you have Medicare? Do you have something that goes along with that? Are you getting all the benefits that you deserve? And so, yeah, I actually sold one of the volunteer workers at the food pantry an ACA policy last month. But let me give you something else. I've even ran into T65s or people that are on Medicare supplements at these food pantries because it just doesn't, we think food pantries is only affecting like the lower socioeconomic demo. But there's people pulling up like in really nice cars at these food pantries because it's hitting everybody. So I've gotten to review some policies and rewrite some supplements off these food pantries. So don't sleep on the food pantry because there's all kinds of people going and you just never know what they're going to have.
So are you setting up the appointment with the food pantry, or is that something you said your Aetna rep has already got established?
Yeah, great question. So like with Aetna and all of them, or at least here in our area, I can't speak for your area, and here, they have what they call event coordinators that set up these type of events, like at CVS's, Walgreens, Walmart's, food pantries, halfway houses, whatever the case may be. And so what they do is what they're doing is they have a calendar of events, and the event coordinator reaches out to us and says, hey, would you like to do this event? Like we just had him, he said, hey, we're doing a new one, not too far down the road from where you're doing the other one. Would you be willing to do that? They set everything up. Okay. All we have to do, and they bring us all the goodies, they drop it off in all these boxes. All we have to do is show up, unload all the stuff, give it away, talk to the people. And here's the reality. These food pantries don't want you to bottleneck their lines because they move really quickly. So you're literally getting about a 30 to 45 second convo. But as long as you get them to sign it in that number, you can always, if you got good phone skills, okay, and if you don't, this no better leads to start developing that than on food pantry leads. But just call them and start having a conversation with them. Okay.
All right. Any other questions, guys? Okay. Between all your lead strategies, how many leads do you try to average a month for personal production?
Yeah. So, Zeb, I would answer that differently about, 6, 7 months ago. And that's a story from the day. I talk really well over steak dinners, by the way. But anyhow, in this particular case, I want to average personally for me between 30 to 50 apps per month. Okay. For me, but it's because I'm used to doing that or more. Has it been a little bit harder since we've had to go independent and kind of pushing the reset button? Yes. But I think we're still averaging between 25 to 40 apps the past 90 days. I think we've been at like 28, 35, and then like 30. Okay. So, and when I mean that, that's med subs, that's MAPDs, HIBs, ancillary, that's everything. But I will tell you this, and I'll just say this. I know we're talking about food pantries. Food pantries can't be your only source. Okay. You got to have different ones. So I'm test driving Facebook. I'm actually test driving a new T65 mailing campaign that is like bananas. I know it's going to be awesome. I'm test driving, LIS mailers. So I'm a firm believer in trying a little bit of everything and then just scaling what's working, but I don't ever leave all my eggs in one basket. I'm always trying different things because I want to grow my skills in different areas. So, that I don't know if that would help anybody, but I'm not saying you can't make tons of money off of food pantries alone. I'm just saying that for us, it's been good. But if that's all I had to rely on, we went to one food pantry. A lot of people only made 3 sales out of like 60, 70 leads. But a lot of it was because they were already on existing plans. And I don't believe in the unethical stuff. I'm never going to flip people just for the sake of flipping people, right? I'm going to make sure that that is the best move for them.
All right. Anybody else? Any other questions here? All right. Awesome, guys. The big thing that I took away was, I've said it for years. I don't think I said it first, but I'm going to take credit. Successful people are those that are willing to do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. And it drives me crazy when I get agents ask me all the time, and I'm being nice. I'm trying to be nice, but there's nothing to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Think differently, talk outside the box, reach out to other people, say, hey, what are you doing? So that's awesome. So,
well, and Dallas, can I say this real quickly? If you don't have a marketing budget, then you got to do whatever it takes to get a marketing budget. Okay. Yeah. So if you go sell 5 MAPDs, 3 of them are DSNPs, 2 of them are true ups, how much money you think comes from that? I'm going to take a portion of that. That the food pantries are really what funds our marketing budget, because we have carrier reps that are co-oping us with these mailers. So if the mailer is going to cost me $3,000, they may pay for the full $3,000 or $1,500 or $1,000 of it. How many people know that helps me out overall? So if you're willing to do, as Dallas said, what no one else is willing to do, it's a divine principle that our creator has put in place. Man, I'm sowing all these seeds out there, right? These good seeds. There's a harvest coming in, and we've already seen that in 90 days.
Well, and to reiterate, I think we've talked about it 2 or 3 times. That carrier relationship is so important. And 2, so think about this. Let's put ourselves in their shoes, right? So let's say I am a carrier rep for Aetna, and I get paid based on how many applications are written in my area, right? And so let's say I've got $100,000 to give out over AEP. I'm going to look around and I'm going to see who is producing, number one, and they're going to get a bunch of money. But then I've got this guy down here in Tupelo, Mississippi, that's out here banging food pantry doors and stuff like that. You don't think I'm going to look at that and say, that guy's getting some cash, And 2, lastly, I'll say this with the carrier reps, go to them with ideas. Don't go to them and say, hey, can I have some money? They're going to say, why? What for? Go to them saying, hey, one year I went to them and I said, hey, I'd like to throw a Southern Gospel concert, because I went to Southern Gospel concerts with my parents and I looked around and I was the youngest person there. And I mean, it's just blue hair everywhere, right? And so I'm like, if we could throw a concert, and United Healthcare said, yeah, absolutely. And they loved it. So, just go to them with an idea that may be a little outside the box. It's going to get you in front of people, and they have money to spend.
Yeah. And here's the question that we ask. Dallas is exactly right. You don't want to go, hey, where's my money at? You know what I mean? What we said, this is how my wife and I presented it. Hey, what would it take to get access to some of that marketing budget, right? What would it take? Like, in other words, you tell us what we have to do. And now, like, we just had one carrier that is sending us $1,500 to do a mailer. And if we produce off of that, because they've already seen us produce off a little bit, then next time it's going to go to 3,000, then 5,000, so on. So once again, we're willing to be faithful in the little, so that way we can be trusted with a lot.
Nice. All right, guys. Great job as always, Rob. Thank you very much, buddy. Never disappoint. Guys, if we can do anything for you, like I said, if you want to know the name of your carrier rep, let me know. We have the list of all those, or we can get access to a list of all those, and just start building that relationship with them. Take them out to coffee, something. I appreciate y'all. Can't thank y'all enough. We're going to get you guys out of here. 22 minutes. How about that? Get you out here, let you start talking to your reps and figuring out how many food pantries are in your market, right? So appreciate you guys. Rob, as always, thank you, buddy. We will see you guys next week.